starts now.
But we begin tonight with our fourth heat wave of the season. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Laurel Porter. Let's toss it over to Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino for the latest on the heat. And Matt, it's really warm out there right now.
That's what's setting this heat wave apart is tonight. It's a very, very warm night with the clouds that came in this afternoon. Humidity came up a bit. That'll also tend to keep the temperatures elevated overnight. We're still at 84 degrees right now. That's higher than our average high temperature for this date. And when we look at the difference between now and 24 hours ago, Portland 7 degrees warmer, Vancouver 10 degrees warmer. If you extrapolate this, that would mean our low temperatures would be in the mid 70s tomorrow morning. Usually it doesn't work that way with a straight linear extrapolation, but still, it is going to be one of our warmer nights. Warmest nights on record here in the Rose City, because I do not think we're going to drop below 70 degrees by morning. Pretty much everybody in the state except for Astoria is seeing temperatures at least a little bit warmer now compared to same time last night. So 90-degree days. Talk about that just a bit. The record was 31 back 4 years ago in 2018, super hot summer. This year we've already had 20. Last year was 24. We may catch last year by the end of next week, because we'll hit 90 again tomorrow, so that'll be 21. The annual average is 13, and what I keep hearing on social media is I'm over it with the hot weather. Well, you know what? Our average last 90-degree day of the year isn't until September 5th. So we got a ways to go before I can reliably say, hey, we're not going to have any more 90-degree days. These are the record warm nights that we've had, and tomorrow morning will be right up there. So very warm overnight in the 70s, still hot tomorrow. And then the heat will end. It'll be much cooler Friday, guys.
But we're not over it yet. Thank you, Matt. Now to developing news tonight, where police are investigating a deadly shooting in the Hazelwood area. This happened about 8 o'clock tonight on East Burnside near Southeast 127th Street. Portland police say they found one man dead when they arrived on the scene. No one's been arrested. East Burnside is closed to all traffic, including MAX trains between 122nd and 133rd Avenues. We'll update you as we learn more.
Developing tonight near Pendleton, a suspect is in custody and a second person injured after a daytime shootout with police right outside a casino. Let's bring in Alma McCarty. Alma, this sounds pretty frightening. What do we know?
Lots of chaos and commotion this afternoon, and many fearing the worst after an armed suspect tried to rob the casino. Umatilla Tribal Police, along with other agencies, got to Wild Horse Casino around 1 p.m. and saw the suspected gunman trying to get away. Right outside the front doors, officials say both the suspect and police fired shots. A bullet from officers hit the suspect, injuring him. He was then taken into custody and then to the hospital. A bystander was also shot and injured, caught in the crossfire. The conditions of both unknown at this time. I talked with Deborah Fensky, who was in the casino at the time. She described people suddenly running all over, instructed to find a safe place to hide.
My friend and I were just rushed into a back room, told to just keep very quiet, that there was an active shooter. No one knew for sure what was going on. We're all just being very quiet, making sure nobody reacted in a way that would bring about attention towards this. That was for about 10 or 15 minutes. And so that was our biggest fear, all of us, was staff and ourselves, just who's going to come around that corner, because we couldn't see around that corner.
She says she's grateful things didn't escalate further. We do not yet know the identity of those involved, either the suspect or bystander. However, the Pendleton School District confirmed some staff were on site and several witnessed the incident. The district also said one staff member was injured.
What a frightening ordeal. Thank you, Alma. And now to a dramatic situation in Southeast Portland. Security footage caught this police shooting and standoff. Officers were trying to arrest a wanted man last night when they said he pulled a gun. He then ran into a nearby auto shop and took a man hostage, Miguel Sanchez. As Tim Gordon shows us, it was the hostages' incredible efforts that helped make sure no one was hurt.
Rodriguez Auto Repair is quiet now. No work is getting done on Miguel Sanchez's Mini Cooper. Outside the garage, just off Southeast 82nd Avenue, there is damage to other cars.
Son nine.
9 shots.
Yeah.
Shop owner Alonso Rodriguez is counting up the bullet holes from police guns fired Tuesday night. Officers fired at 49-year-old Robert Connolly, seen here in security video, armed and running from police into the auto shop garage. The video confirms what police say, that Connolly threatened them with a handgun and they fired on him, although they didn't hit him. Fortunately, shop owner Rodriguez and a friend were able to escape the garage to safety. But Sanchez was inside the waiting room as the suspect ran into the shop. With earbuds in, he didn't hear the gunfire at first. When it got his attention, he got up and moved.
I was hiding on that little cubby corner right there.
While Sanchez hid in this tight little spot, he considered what felt like his only option.
I had to kill this guy, because if I don't, he's going to kill me.
At that time, he says Connolly was trying to kick holes in the walls to escape. Then the suspect and hostage met.
And we cut eyes, and I was like, oh, man, I'm dead. So he's like, come on, man, I'm not going to hurt you.
For the next few hours, while police crisis negotiators and the CERT team responded, Sanchez was talking to Connolly. And despite the suspect smoking drugs from a pipe and saying he was ready to die, he listened when Sanchez shared his faith and talked forgiveness.
I don't care what you did today, bro. I'm not concerned or what you've done in your life. But he's willing to forgive you, and you walk out alive from here. But if you don't, you walk out there, they shoot you, you go straight to hell, and you will pay for eternity.
An act of tough love and kindness got Connolly to surrender peacefully.
He said, okay, I'm ready. I said, okay. God bless you, bro. You're going to be okay. So he opened the door, showed them his hands, and then he followed their instructions. And I just sat on the chair, and I started just bawling and praying.
Miguel, you are a hero for what you did last night.
Well, it went from wanting to kill this man to so much compassion. I can see pain in his eyes.
It's the outcome Sanchez wanted for both suspect and hostage.
I wanted to make sure that I go home to see my grandkids and my kids and my family, man. That was my whole intention.
And police arrested Connolly on several outstanding warrants connected to gun crimes and sex abuse charges. Tim Gordon, KGW News.
Watching that story just made me want to cry. Miguel's bravery and compassion was just remarkable.
As Tim said, this is an ordinary guy who did something extraordinary, and that is the definition, basically, of a hero.
I know.
So
he deserves a medal. He
amazing,
really does.
Right? Well, let's talk about a few short weeks from now, because kids are going to be headed back to school with COVID lingering. State leaders say many decisions related to health and safety are not going to be left at the local level. Our Catherine Cook checked in with districts and health officials on the latest guidance for parents.
Okay, you guys all remember which way you're going in, right?
This year, the first day of school will feel different. Take the Reynolds School District. Administrators expect an instant reminder of what normal used to feel like.
The difference this school year is we're actually opening in person at the beginning of the school year. So it's the first time we've done that in a couple of years. And so we're excited about that.
As for masks, those will be optional for students, the way they were at the end of last year. And there are more changes. This month, the CDC relaxed some of its COVID guidelines. They no longer recommend cohorting. That is, when kids from different classrooms are kept apart. If you've been exposed to COVID or had close contact with someone who has it, they recommend wearing a mask, but say it's not necessary to quarantine. And if you test positive, stay home for 5 days, then mask up for 5 days after that.
Masking at times and ventilation will continue to be key as we adjust to the COVID-19 variants that may come our way, as well as other respiratory illnesses.
On Wednesday, state health and education authorities suggested parents have their children vaccinated and boosted as soon as possible. Beyond that, they said each county will determine their own protocols.
I was very excited at what CDC is encouraging all us to do, which is, sort of take personal responsibility.
Ann Loeffler is deputy health officer for Multnomah County. She thinks the changes will benefit kids socially, emotionally, and practically.
The schools will not have the capacity to identify or track anybody who is exposed either in school or in their social settings, or ask anyone or insist that anyone mask. But I'm hoping this is just the way our society will evolve. This will be good common sense. This is what we do for our community.
Here's another change. Gone are the days when you send a child to school, even if you think they just have the sniffles.
We're not going to school or work sick anymore.
Health officials and every school district we checked with told us there's no room for taking chances.
We still want parents to, check their children before, taking them to school and make sure they're not showing any signs or symptoms. And if they are, keep them home.
Here's to a new, safe, and healthy school year. Catherine Cook, KGW News.